As a matter of fact, the demonstration of this in such lectures is usually made by having a section of moving picture in which you take a number of phenomena and running the thing backwards and then see all the laughter. The laughter just means this ain't going to happen in the real world. But actually, that's a kind of a weak way to put something which is so obvious and deep as the difference between the past and the future. We remember the past, we don't remember the future. We have a different kind of awareness about what might happen than we have of what most likely has happened. The past and future look completely different psychologically and so forth. And the questions of memory, of apparent freedom of will, in the sense that we feel that we can do something to affect the future, but none of us, or very few of us, believe that there's anything you can do to affect the past.
Time is a funny thing. People say you can give someone time, you can take someone's time. You have time, you don't have time. But realistically, we all have the same amount of time, and all you can do is share that time. The thought of time in a magic effect has come up time and time again. We often play with the idea of time travel, but realistically, we all know that time travel isn't possible. Not yet, anyways. But what would it feel like if you did give someone time? What would it feel like if you gave someone just even a couple seconds more of their life? Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Chris Ramsay, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to time travel with a deck of cards. This effect, known as the Time Machine by Roy Walton. I think this effect was developed by Roy Walton, but later changed up a bit. One of the rare effects where the sleight complements the effect. The card control that you're going to learn today is a bit knacky, and it's a bit weird, and normally not something you would go and do if you choose to do a double lift or to replace the double lift or anything like that. But in this effect particularly, it kind of aids to the effect because the deck of cards is going to act sort of like a small quote-unquote time machine that you can wind up. I've played around with this idea a lot. It's a very fun effect to perform. That's something you can do on the fly that you don't need any setup for, and that can be done with any borrowed deck. Should be mentioned as well that Gabby Pereira's has an amazing routine that he puts together with the time machine plot. And what more could you give someone than time? I mean, it's the most precious thing we have. And so he does this effect, and at the end, he turns it back just 1 second and says, you are going to have 1 extra second in your life. And when you're on your deathbed, surrounded by all your friends and family and loved ones, and you're ready to go, you're gonna realize on your last breath that you have 1 extra second. And you're gonna say to yourself, God damn it, Chris Ramsay. Ugh. And this is sort of my take on this effect and my handling for the effect. So grab yourself a deck of cards and let's learn how to time travel. All right, for this effect, I'm gonna be using the James Coffey playing cards. These feel really nice. They're fun cards to use. They last a long time. I'll leave a link below if you guys are interested. All right, so first things first, you're going to have to know a few things. First, you're gonna have to know how to do a double lift, and you're also going to have to know how to do a different kind of double lift, a center double. And the center double that I use is a bit different, knackier than normally. So normally a center double is you riffle down, your index hits that break, your middle finger then gets ready to grab 2 cards. So your thumb here is going to sort of riffle off 2 cards onto your middle finger like this. 1, 2. All right, once it catches that, your middle finger normally pivots it aside, and then you can take the cards out like that, and that's 2 cards. It is like this. And that's normally how you do a center double. However, today I'm going to teach you how to swivel out the center double. A little bit more knacky, but definitely worth learning. So they say stop whenever they want. The index contacts this part. Your middle finger goes here. 1, 2. So same thing. Now, as I rotate it, my middle finger on the dealer's hand is going to contact that corner as this hand goes this way and basically swivels it out. So what it looks like is kind of like that. So now it makes it sort of protrude to the front, and again, that's a double. Let's try that again. They say stop. 1, 2. You're here, and you sort of swiveled it out in front. Now it's gonna take a bit of practice. 1, 2, you're here. Remember, middle finger is here, and your middle finger is gonna be that fulcrum point, that point of pivot for the cards to go around. Looks simple, but it will take some practice. So 1, 2, all right, we'll use this card here. And the cards generally stick together really well when doing that, so this is a lot of fun. As you're here, is this hand's going to come over top. You're going to pinch the corner here with your middle finger and thumb. And now your index is going to be the fulcrum point on this part. So what you're gonna do is your thumb's gonna slide this way and your middle finger's gonna slide that way, okay? So that card is now going into palm. Here's where it gets complicated. The index is going to swivel this card like this. Your other index underneath is gonna be the other fulcrum point, okay? They say stop, 1, 2, swivel it out. Now, here, you're going to pinch that top and your index is going to just swivel that top card as this one goes down into palm basically. And your index on the other side is contacting the card that is there. They think this is their card, but their card's actually here being palmed out. You're going to leave your index there because it creates a nice pivot point. See, if my index is contacting, it allows it with the pressure to be rotated like that, which is kind of nice. This card, pinch at the top, middle finger here, thumb here. Index is just used to sort of swivel this out. Thumb goes this way, middle finger goes in so that you're palming out this card. Index is on the bottom. And just like that. Now you're in this sort of lateral palm. And from the front is very nice because you can even open up your fingers. It's kind of like a natural position to be in. And once you're here, well, you're gonna have to replace this card. And the justification for replacing that is to swivel this, which is for me kind of like winding up a clock on a time machine. Here, as I go to replace, notice my thumb is here the entire time because I can slide it right under. And as I'm here, my middle finger's here, it's going to reach over here and give that one more turn before I push it in. They see the card, you're here. And again, the idea is I want to rotate this card, right? So to do that, I have to come on this side of the deck. And that's when I'm dropping the card. So I'm here and then I'm rotating all in one motion. So that becomes completely invisible. And even from the front, just the right amount of blocking. So again, this can be performed from the front. So you're here. As this is here, notice I'm in palm. My thumb is down, which is fine, which is a nice little visual retention. I'm gonna replace it under my thumb and my middle finger, and then I can show everything super clean as I push that in, okay? Now essentially, you've sort of wound up the clock. And by the way, there's this little, I like to use my necklace for this. You don't have to, you can use your thumb, but it kind of looks like you're winding up a little trinket. So if you just riffle there and keep pressure here, you're gonna get a cool little sound. So you can, before the effect starts, wind it up, go for the double. They see the card as I'm here, gets pushed in, and now the card is controlled on top. So ask them to remember a card. Before you start this, you can say, listen, you're gonna have to remember 2 cards, so I really want you to pay attention. Or you can do this to 2 spectators. Now you're going to double lift off the top, whatever double lift you're comfortable with, showing this card, asking them to remember this. Then you're gonna take that card and place it into the middle, but not all the way. Now normally with the time machine, this goes in and then just out to reveal the card. I like to turn it the other way, or seemingly the other way. I'll tell them I'm gonna turn it the opposite way because we've wound up this clock. And now I just take my middle finger and with the same pivot point on my index, go here, and now the index, go here, and now I can take it out and reveal that it was the first card and the other one is still on top. Show them a card, you say I'm gonna wind this up just like a clock, leave it somewhere in the middle, and we'll take the next card down, which is the Ace of Hearts, and we're gonna leave the Ace of Hearts somewhere in the middle, but I'm actually gonna turn back time. Just a little bit, just before your 6 of Spades was put in the middle and the Ace of Hearts was still on top. And that is the time machine. All right, guys, so that was my version of the time machine. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys practice this a lot. It will take some practice for it to look naturally. The replacement obviously is a bit knacky and you don't want any cards protruding or any weird, unnecessary finger movement. So to get to that point, it will take some time, but I have faith in you, you can do it. So thanks again. Make sure to like this video if you did, subscribe if you're new here, and check out the links below. I dropped also one of Roy Walton's books that you guys can check out, which has a ton of more card magic effects that are highly practical and beautiful, and I highly recommend it. We'll see you on the next video. Oh, by the way, I'm going to New York next week. I'm spending a week there. I can't tell you for what just yet. I don't think we're allowed to announce it, but really, really exciting nonetheless. Going to be linking up with other YouTubers, and we'll see what comes of it. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.